Now, I was thinking about my Navajo release moves, and I thought about the fact that I used to make and look at, and I made my mouth finally. And then I sort of quit looking, but there's a whole bunch of things that you can do if you use a long string and you do a DNA move, so that this is LDNA, so that when you release the center holes, and you of course have to cotilloweek. Now, let's do something silly, like rotate this index 1/2 away, and then do the first of the interweave weaves over one, pick up the near little finger string, but of course pick up only the non-transverse, finish that weave, and then rotate the entire figure so that you can reach and get again the non-transverse, and picking up the outside, do the inverse of the first interweave weave, and then rotate back to original position. Now you have some information in the center, and you can do all sorts of informations in the center. But now you want to do the Navajo release. So you reach over both of the indexes and reach and pick up the non-transverse of the near little finger string, and on the inside rotate so that you get this half hitch, which will be a joist. Oh, I didn't do it right on that side, so I have to reach and get, go over both and get, and do it on the inside, so I get my half hitch. And now I can go over both indexes and reach and get the far little finger strings, drop, rotate, and do the same thing again. Reach and get the non-transverse from the inside, which gives you a half hitch over both, and of course you then release, spread, and let the information fall into the center. And you see I have a little funny looking center. And then I put on 2 diamonds and Murphy's power lift. And when I do that, I can begin to make that figure move. Now that figure perhaps is not the most interesting figure that you can have move, but you can see how the outsides are, you can pull it down and you can make it a little bit more. But you have plenty potentially of putting information into the center of this figure, and then ending with the 2 Navajo release moves, and they tend to be magic figures. I say tend to be, and they pull out. But again, you always use LDNA or a DNA, cotilloweek, both. Make sure you have that. And then you can use any sort of, let's just do a double left. The left loop goes over the right loop, left dominant transfer. Now let's go and do, without rotating or anything, just do that. And there, and there. But yeah, you can play with this kind of an idea, and of course you can figure out other ways of getting the information to flow into the center, and you will see that this information doesn't really do a whole lot except disappear. Makes a little hole in the center, but that doesn't really mean that you don't have anything. You have to always sort of see what it does, and you apply the kinds of things that happen, and this doesn't do a whole lot, but you can see it does something. And I don't have any more ideas this morning. I was just thinking that you should be free. Oh, look at that. That's a very strange diagonal. You should be free to try to do any sort of thing once you have mastered a particular figure or a procedure which allows you to do something interesting, then you can vary it. And you should not be afraid of failing in your variations. You should persist until you find one which is really pretty.